Good morning, beautiful.
Hello, pink scooter goddess.
Just did my skincare routine. I'm going to take some more pictures today. I've got a new line of skincare that's coming in from the UK, organic, and it's just they're just finishing the final hoop. So, a girlfriend of mine's going to be an ambassador, and she said, "Do you want to try this stuff?" And I said, "Yes." So,
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's European
Nice.
organic, which is much better than American organic.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
I'm sure just I'm
Yeah.
gonna be sure to stress it's or European organic.
So how are
Anyway,
you today?
um, let me
On a
just I don't
scale of
know.
1 to 10.
I am. Well, that's an easier one for me. I'm about a 7.
All right. All right.
Um, I've been doing something with because I'm doing training through one of the partners in the Richmond Inns. His business partner does NLP, and he just wrote the book and released it, Colors of Influence. And so I was going through a breakthrough process with my friend who's also in there. And she also took Life Mastery Consultant from Mary Morrissey, took leadership from Hardcore, and now we're both in Richmond's community. Anyway, she's been doing the breakthrough process on me for the last 3 days. And I think that's probably why I'm so tired. Like I was asleep by 9:45 last night. And I wasn't sick. And then I woke up this morning and I was awake for an hour and I went back to sleep for another hour and I could go back to sleep right now. So I think it's just my body um, res going through rescripting and I'm exhausted.
Are you like releasing stuff? Is stuff
Yeah,
coming up for you that you're,
yeah,
yeah.
there's certain emotions that you go through because I'm training in this as well, but she said she'd do it with me. You start with anger. There's anger, guilt, shame. I think there's like the top emotions that you're probably carrying
Humiliation. Yeah.
from your childhood, and
Yeah.
then you go through and rescript them. How could it be possible? Like, what could be positive out of them? And yeah, go through and test them and see that they're cleared. So you're clearing the energy of all or the major um, things that you remember from your past. So really helpful for to do with me and men.
Yeah.
I'm sure my husband will feel much more love these days.
Well, I know that was one of your goals is to have him feel more loved than he ever has, than he's ever been
Yeah,
loved, to love your
yeah,
husband more than he's ever been loved.
yeah, yeah. And so I'm just like, yeah, it's intense. We do it in breakthrough and hardcore, but it's a really short process. This is
Yeah.
uh, we're into it for probably 8 hours, and then we're just doing the final gold drop thing today for the final cleanup of everything. So yeah, it's really um yeah, it was good to have it done for me. And then, I mean, I'll be offering breakthrough days to my clients as well, like breakthrough weekends or whatever, for them to break through things that are holding them back. Because if you've got things that are, continually there, you want to get them moved out. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm looking at my notes from last time, and I'm curious to how you did with walking 20 to 45 minutes 3 times a week. Non-negotiable, it says.
I forgot.
Okay.
So, I probably need to do, if it's not in, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to put it in my calendar. Like my memory's really severely hampered. Um, yeah, so I've got to figure out some way to put it in there. Um, like even for
So,
this meeting, yeah, yeah, non-negotiable.
so
So I didn't do it.
walking, I mean, that was something that you declared that you wanted to
Mhm,
do.
mhm.
And but then what I'm getting is it's not something that's currently installed in you and something you really want to do and something that comes naturally and you don't feel right if you don't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything that I don't feel right about, and if I don't do it. I'm having to force myself to eat these days too. I'm just exhausted. So, we
And
walked
is it
over.
because of all of the psychological work that you're doing?
No, I think it's just my body's um, just tired. Um,
Yeah, but but what's causing that? What's the source of that?
I'm not sure, Judith.
Well, let's look. Do you want to look?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
literally.
you just
Um,
described you've been doing 8 hours of intense
yeah,
NLP.
we broke it up into sessions. Um, so that we weren't going like, 4 hours at a time. We did 2 hours and then 2 hours, and then
Were these on different days?
no, same day. We just took a break in between. I had a nap
So two
because I get
hours
so
and then
tired.
2 hours. Did
Yeah.
you do 8 hours in one day, broken up in different sessions?
What did we do on Sunday? Give me a second here. Oh, I don't even have it in there. That's interesting. We did 2 hours and then took an hour break and then did 2 more hours. 12 till, hang on, why isn't that in my calendar? Hmm. And we did 1 to 3 and then 4 to 6. And then we met again on Monday and again on Tuesday.
So
That's
might
so
you have
weird.
done 4 hours on Monday and 4 hours on Tuesday, or
No, we did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we're doing, so it's two, probably 4 hours, then 2 hours and 2 hours and 2 hours. Yeah,
okay.
that's what it is.
So
Yeah.
it sounds quite intense.
Yeah, it is very intense. Yeah.
And do you think that this is the source of you being tired? No.
No, I've been tired. Um, been tired a long, long time. My doctor, I mean, that's the biggest thing I go in and talk to my doctor about. And we've looked at all these different things. And she said last time, she said, well, increase your protein. She said, I don't think you're getting enough protein, which she was absolutely 100% correct. So now I'm working to get at least 50 grams a day, which I should be getting 100, but I'm not hungry. So it's like I have a protein drink and I almost want to barf it up. Um, eating protein is just, I'm just not hungry. Um, yeah, so I'm
Well,
not
there are
getting proper
protein
nutrition.
drinks. There are protein drinks out there that are very tasty.
I know, and most of them have stevia, and I am deathly allergic to one sip and it triggers a migraine. One sip. Like when I went to Costco, I got caught a few times with their no sugar drinks that they're giving you samples of. Yeah, I don't do it anymore
Okay. So
because they
you're
all
like
have
allergic to
stevia.
stevia?
Yeah. Yep. And I've been writing like all these new products coming out because they look great, like a lemonade and stuff like that. And I'll reach out to the company. I'll comment on their Facebook page thing and say, would somebody please start making stuff that's got like monk fruit and allulose in it? Because I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm not the only one that's allergic to stevia. So I'm starting to give them back feedback of make something without stevia and market it stevia free.
All right. So if
Anyway.
if you're not getting your protein source that way,
Mhm.
um, I mean, are you cooking for your husband?
Well, I buy a lot of stuff at Costco, like pre-done, and then I put it together. But I mean, I'm looking to get, I could buy their meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and then I serve it with broccoli or vegetables. So, that's high protein. It's their meatloaf. Or I'll make their chicken. We've got a Hawaiian chicken, which is a paleo meal, and I cook it with cauliflower rice and mixed vegetables to make like a chop suey kind of thing. So I cook, but not cook because I don't have the energy to cook. So that's my
If you
cooking.
had if you had to know what is the source of your tiredness, what would you say?
I think my body's just tired. Um,
What is your body? telling you about its tiredness? Do you feel like you're pushing yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
For
And
sure.
what
And
is
I've backed
that?
off. I've
Okay.
backed off some of that. I'm trying to figure it. I'm actually looking at, um, I paid a lot of money in this coaching, which last year I had a blip where I had energy, or I get caught in the energy of it and it energizes me. When I'm around people, I do get energized. Um, so that's an interesting one. But then
So I know you're involved in a lot of coaching programs.
yeah, well, I've got the one that the big one I invested in, Richmond Din's Tiny Challenges. His partner does the NLP, so they kind of go, they're really good at taking beginner coaches and getting them to their first 100K. That's what they specialize in. So they do a lot of training. There's a lot of coaching, support. Like I've never seen a program with that much support and that much love in it. So that's why I joined that one. Um, it's just it takes a lot to get a business going, right? So,
Yes, it
um,
does.
yeah. And so I'm looking at that and going, why did I do this? And I thought, because I wanted to do it. And I love to coach
And
people.
okay. So you wanted to do it because you love to coach people?
Mhm.
Hmm.
And I like to be busy. I like to be busy. And my body's telling me, knock that shit off. But if I'm not busy, then I just sit and watch TV. So that's not good either.
Okay. Um, what's your definition of busy?
My mind is always going, always going. It's always working on something new. Like it needs things to work on. So like I read um the real estate postings probably 5 times a day. And I'm actually looking at going into real estate, but I'm just wanting to make sure I'm not jumping. My good friend Melissa Felix is the number one in Waikiki, and she keeps saying to me, should get your license. I need a buyer's agent. I need another buyer's agent. So and I asked her, went to a meeting the other day with her. She was speaking at, and she had one gal that just did referrals and stuff. And I said, what did she take home a month? And she said $5,000 to $10,000. And I'm thinking, oh shit. But it's not, anyway. So, um, yeah, but I'm looking at it and going, do I have the energy to keep up with her? And I don't want to put a friendship on the line if I can't perform to her level. So I don't want to
Okay,
go
now,
into the fire.
okay, okay. So I want you to look honestly and tell yourself the truth. Is this the thing? Is going into real estate and going into some kind of collaborative partnership with her or keeping up with her or whatever that entails, is that really what your heart wants?
I have loved real estate and I mean, when I moved to the States, I looked at it, but I couldn't get licensed because I wasn't legal. I have wanted to be in real estate since I was probably in my 20s.
Hmm.
So I'm looking at that and going, and am I going to be disappointed if I get in there? And, and. I mean, I went to this meeting, it was all with top realtors in Waikiki. Um,
It takes a lot of energy. I'm sure you know that.
yeah.
It takes a lot of drive. I did real estate for about 5 minutes. I got my license. I went through all the training. I got my license. I joined with an agency and I went out on my first broker's um, tour, like every week they go look at the new listings and
Yeah.
carpooled with the agents and did that whole thing and said, not for me. This is not for me. After I'd gone through school and licensing and all of that. No, this is not the thing that feeds my soul. Now, it might be the thing that feeds your soul. When you tell me you've wanted to do it, since your 20s and blah, 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 that suggests to me that might be something that feeds your soul. Um, what we want to connect with here is what is it that feeds your soul? And given what your body is going through right now. I mean, I'm looking at my notes and everything that you have put your body through in the last few years, um, you're just being tired. I just want you to be realistic and not be on automatic on the hamster wheel because your mind won't shut down and your mind wants to be busy and yada yada and all of that because it
Mhm.
feels kind of scattered. It feels scattered and
Okay.
not brought to center and focus. Now, I know you love coaching.
Hmm.
It's one thing to go into an organization such as Hardcore, which of course we know HCL doesn't exist anymore. But it's one thing to go into an established organization that just sends clients your way and you get to coach them and there's no exchange of money and it's a volunteer and there's no pressure and all of that. It's one thing to do that. Everybody loves doing that. And it's another thing, as you know, to build your own coaching business because
Hmm.
that's a
Hmm.
whole other set of skills, right? And
Yeah.
so, in that, I know you've been really committed and working diligently towards that end. I mean, I'm following all your posts, and I see how diligent and how committed you are out there every day, a Facebook Live, every day, some kind of a post, and, challenges and all of that. So, is that working? Are you creating the results you're wanting there? Or do you
I
feel like
haven't.
it's
Sorry, go ahead.
progressing at all?
Um, I think what's progressing is my niche and um what my superpower is. So that is my superpower is starting over. Like it's really um
Okay.
and so that's finally I know who I'm talking to, which I've been floundering for 7 years.
Okay.
I didn't want to niche down. I could do this and I could do this and I can do this and yeah, I can do
Yeah.
any of them. But what is my gift to people, right? And it really is coming through difficulty and coming out the other side.
Hmm.
That's been what I've done with 4 car accidents or 6 car accidents and 4 major surgeries is I'm the comeback kid and starting over. It's that I've been the messages because I've put everything into chat and got my 90-day plan of what I'm doing because of all the things. And it was just getting everything organized in my mind of who puts what can fit in their Ford Explorer and moves to California, right? From Canada. Like, who is she, right? Like, who is this person? And there's a lot in there of becoming and letting go and releasing
Yeah.
um that goes to a really deep like I don't buy anything anymore unless I'm prepared to give it away. So my beautiful artwork in my home, if I lost it tomorrow, I'm good. I've enjoyed it for as long as I have it because I've started over and I've left behind so much, right? By choice. So it doesn't hold me the same way that, a lot of people they get attached to things. The hardest thing
So
for me
is
to
your
give away.
messaging, pardon?
Oh, I just said the hardest thing for me to give away was my shoe collection in the Bay Area. Because I used to have
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful shoes. I had back in the 80s, I worked in high fashion and I was wearing Bally Swiss shoes that were $500 a pair in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
They were beautiful. They were just art, pieces of art. Yeah.
Oh, and this is the girl who thought she was not abundant?
Yeah. I know how to get things for on sale or how to get them
Well,
less money. Yeah.
that's even better. That's even better.
I
So,
never paid
all
full
right.
price
So
for anything.
you know you're who you're speaking to. You're like fine tuning your message. You're getting dialed in on your message. Is your message, are you connecting with the audience, that audience? Is your message connecting?
Since I started doing my lives have been the lowest views of anything all year. So that's interesting for me. Um, these lives that I've been doing in this series, although last night I did one with my three fingers, and that one's up over 150. But it's still very, very low compared to what I was getting. And I had two VAs that were doing my posts, and I stopped the other one for this month because I just want to get, I'm like, no, I've got too much money going out without the results, so I need to bring this in close and really hone my my work because I don't want to work with 40 people. I don't want big groups. I don't want that. I want to work with a handful of people or up to a dozen people. And because that's what my energy, I think that will honor my energy, right? So I don't um
All
yeah.
right. So what I'm hearing is uh, you haven't quite answered the question. Um, you have you're getting more clear about your messaging. You're consistently putting it out there.
Mhm,
Uh, you're not getting the views. You're getting fewer views.
mhm.
Okay, of the views that you're getting, are those views, is anything opening up out of that? Are you getting any new connections? Is there anything progressing beyond just people viewing your lives?
Yeah, interesting because I had a couple women a couple weeks ago and I followed up with both of them. I called them both. And I reached back out to the one that I know they were the people I worked with when I first moved to California. And she said ready on one of my posts. And I called her and I followed up and said, how you doing? Have you got time for a call? And nothing. So she's just not ready, but she's watching my lives and she's watching my stuff. So she's just not ready yet, I think. And
Well,
I
now,
don't, yeah,
how about getting on a call with her and working her towards ready? She
yeah,
doesn't have to be ready before you talk with her.
yeah. No, I mean, but like I say, I called her and left her a message. And she didn't return my call. And then I messaged her last weekend and said, "Hey, have you got time to, how are you? I'm just, you've been on my heart. How are you? Have you got time for a call?" Right? Just not anything about coaching, just have you got time for a call? And she didn't respond. So I'll follow up with her. Um,
Yeah. Well, okay.
so
So you've
that's,
gotten,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
just that one person.
Then there was also Janice Laval, who's gone through HCL and coached, has reached out to me a couple times, and when I reach back to her, she doesn't respond. So it's interesting because she's a coach, but um, like I know I could definitely work with Janice. But again, she's not responding. So I'm just thinking, yeah, I'm just, it's like I'm shifting things, and I've yeah, so it's not working like lots of people in point one, but they also haven't been coaching for 7 years and been coaching for other companies. Like a lot of people in my contacts are fellow coaches. Um, so I'm going into new groups actually in Facebook and going in and making comments and meeting people that way. So yeah, I'm I'm gonna keep at it till the end of the year. and see if I get anything out of it, if anything, if I get any returns. And although one guy was in this, most people get like my friend Nancy Presser has made her first 35. So, and they say that there's a barrier to get your first 25,000. And that's why we've got all the psychological help and stuff and the coaching to support us because the shifts in who you are as a person um, determines that. Like that's where like you've got to expand as a person to be able to earn 25 as a coach. And then your next 75 comes easier. And then when you get to 100,000, there's another wall you've got to grow to make it to 1 million. Like you've got to grow as a person. So I've been seeing that the growth in me as a person this year. Um, so I go, well, that's worth it. If the growth in me is in who I am and my confidence in me and my assurances in me, then it's money well spent and it will end up doing something. I don't know what, but it'll end up doing something.
Somewhere, some way. Hmm.
Yeah, like I'm just taking the next step, I guess. Like I said, when I with cutting down to one VA, the other VAs were doing posts that Richmond says Facebook isn't liking, but they were getting a lot more views than my ones now are. So I'm like, I'm just playing with what Facebook is doing, trying to figure out what the hell Mark Zuckerberg's asking for next. Because it's like it's all about make Mark happy, right?
If that's the game you want to play, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the game I'm playing because it doesn't require a big investment to get going, right? Sorry, I'm just putting my watch back on. Um,
Are you doing Instagram at all?
we share my Facebook post to Instagram.
Yeah.
So not
I'm
doing
just
the
curious. You
real one.
mentioned Nancy Presser. Did she used to call herself Nancy Grace?
No, her name's Nancy Elaine Presser.
Okay.
I don't
All
think
right.
she's
I
ever
was
been
thinking,
Nancy Grace. Yeah,
okay, I'm
she never
thinking of,
coached in HCL. She just took HCL. Um,
oh, okay. I was thinking of
yeah.
someone else.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
So how are you feeling given where things are right now? How does this sit in your body? What does this feel like in your body?
um,
Are you feeling discouraged? Are you feeling encouraged? Are you feeling motivated, inspired? I hear tired. I really hear that.
yeah.
Um,
Um, and yet I am without this to spend my mental energy on, I'd be bored out of my mind probably. Yeah, I think I'd probably be
mhm.
bored. Because it really, my mind is constantly spinning things, right? Yeah, I mean, if they'd had a diagnosis, I would have been diagnosed with ADD for sure. Um, yeah.
Okay.
Just my mind is
Okay.
constantly. My husband's like, what? How did you notice that? And I'm like, yeah, my mom used to say that when we were driving, I would notice more than she did as a driver than she would as a passenger. She said, you're just always on top of stuff.
As you're talking, I'm just wondering, given these, what, 7 car accidents you've had?
Six, I think it's six or seven. Yeah.
6 or 7. I'm just wondering if you're also distracted, given that your mind is here and there and here and there, if you've been
No, actually,
distracted.
four of them I was hit from behind. So I was stopped and somebody behind me wasn't paying attention. And then one was a rollover that I wasn't driving. And
Oh
one was a
boy.
cab driver came through a stop sign and broadsided me. So it was nothing to
Okay.
do with me.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
I was sitting duck.
So,
Like,
what I'm hearing is a real disconnect between mind and body here. Mind
oh
is
yes.
boo, 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 scattered. This and the mind, your mind is like the hamster on the hamster wheel,
Yeah, yeah.
round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And the body is on a completely different trajectory. The body is, come on, let's give it a rest. Give it a rest. We want to rest. So very active mind, ba, 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 ba. Very tired body. So
Hmm.
we've got body mind disconnect. And now tell me about heart and spirit.
Ooh, um,
Where do you find what brings you joy and, feeds your heart and what feeds your soul and your spirit? What kind of things do that? And are you giving yourself those kinds of experiences? Because something in you is hungry. You are literally, you said you don't eat, hard to eat. Some part of you is hungry for something you're not giving it.
mm,
You're busy learning techniques, practicing breakthrough this, coaching, networking, posting, social media lives, challenges. I see this. I see this almost, but not quite. Not quite a frenzy of activity, but just kind of approaching a frenzy of activity, like you've described your mind. And then when
mhm,
I hear you talking, I'm hearing the the being behind all of that is exhausted.
mhm,
And that's what
mhm,
you said. I'm
mhm,
exhausted.
mhm.
So all of this, I'm going to call it frenzy. That might not sit well with you, or that maybe that's not completely accurate, but I'm just going to use that as a description. That feels not aligned. That's like a cookie for the hamster. That's like feeding the hamster,
Mhm, mhm.
but that the soul and the spirit are going, oh, could we just give it a rest? And you're and you're moving, and the thing that you talk about your superpower starting over, it's like that's what your mind is doing. Your
Constantly,
mind
yeah.
is starting over and starting over and starting over because this is what's familiar. We know how to do this. We've done it a million times. So we're just going to keep doing it. And we're not sure what we're doing or where we're going, but we're just going to keep doing it because if we stopped, then what? If we stopped starting over, then what? We wouldn't know what to do with ourselves.
Hmm.
Is this resonating?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I've been
So,
looking at new places to move to.
okay, okay. So, um, none of those things are going to feed what your soul wants, what your body is clearly telling you. Hello, we're exhausted. Could you listen to us a little bit?
But what do you do to power down? Like that's it. It's like, okay, so I sit down and relax. I turn the TV on because lots of times I'm too tired to read. My brain's tired, so I just turn the TV on and I play on my phone. Like I can't do I
Stop,
can't do one thing at once.
stop, stop, stop. Stop the screen, stop the TV, stop the phone, stop all that. Sit down, go out on that porch, that beautiful porch behind you, and sit there and just be with the beauty of the place that you live, where you are. Be with what's right there in the present moment. The magic and um, the potential. You're all about possibility.
Hmm.
See, I'm going to use this language with you because I know you understand. As we're talking, I'm almost getting it as a racket.
Okay.
The go, 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 do, 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 the da, da, da,
Mhm.
da, 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 da. It's like it's a racket to so that in order to avoid boredom, in order to avoid like I don't know what to do with myself, what this kind of place of uncertainty and it's an unsettled feeling. It's like there's not a core rooted, grounded, still center there. And that's what your soul and your body are needing. That's my sense about it.
Okay.
It's needing stillness, it's needing silence, no screens, no lives. I'm not saying stop doing your life, but I'm saying give yourself space. Give yourself, you know, mark out a time in your day. It isn't like you don't have time, right?
Mm. Right.
Okay. So it's just that you don't have a priority. Like even walking, even getting out. Now, when I say get out to walk, you said get out to walk.
Mm.
Getting out and moving is just being out in the fresh air, connecting with nature, connecting with the beauty, be with the ocean. Not to make it a like, I'm gonna see how fast I can go, or I'm gonna turn it into a 75 part or a 12-hour this. It's like you have a similar tendency as I notice I do. So I'm recognizing parts of myself here. I'm just a little bit further down the road than you are in terms of recognition and kind of managing it and handling it. You're
Yeah.
still unconscious about it. Um, and that is the need to turn everything into a thing, turning everything into a thing. So, for example, go for a nice leisurely walk. Go without your dogs. Just take yourself out. Don't turn it into a task and walking the dogs. And I mean, you can do that another time, but take yourself out for a beauty walk and just go slowly and leisurely at a very relaxed, comfortable pace and notice the beauty along the way. Little tiny bud of a flower growing up, pushing up between the cracks of the sidewalk. I mean, you live in a beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Mhm.
You're surrounded by nature and beauty. Go out and be with it. Remember the be of be to have? What's exhausted is that you're not feeding the being. You're doing the doing so you can have the having. You're do, so you can have. But you are not feeding the being. And so the question, who's doing the doing? Write that on a post-it note and stick it on your refrigerator. Who's doing the doing? Is it the hamster on the wheel? Or is it the one who is learning to give it a rest? I'm going to use that expression, give it a rest, in a multitude of forms.
You said who's doing the doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I ask you that question right now, given your what you've shared so far, um, uh, in terms of your experience, let's say in the last month, who's been doing the doing? All the doing you've been doing. Who's been doing the doing?
Um, well, me, um,
No,
my
you know
mind.
what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's I'm just thinking because it's, for the last few months I've been looking to move because what I keep saying is I want to be closer to the ground. I want to come out my door and be my feet on the grass. And that's exactly what's being called. My being is calling me. So that's what it says to me is my spirit is calling to me, Caroline, come and commune with the earth.
Now, you can do that. I'm not saying don't move, but you can do that without moving.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just I'm just realizing it shows in what I can do to make it. Um, but that's what's calling to me is just to um yeah, and I've thought about it a few times. Yeah, there's a beautiful park across the street, and I can just take my lawn chair down there and go sit in the park for a while.
I just had this image come up for me of um I don't this one of my first Substack posts a few weeks ago grew out of a conversation I had with a friend um about this kind of alter ego of mine that I called the Chief Life Enforcement Officer. I don't know if you saw that Substack post, but if you didn't, I suggest you go read it because I had ChatGPT make a graphic for me. So I came up with these two things. One was my archetype, like my female archetype, which was the midwife of the harvest. And I had ChatGPT do a graphic and portray the midwife of the harvest. I wonder if let me see if I can pull those up and share my screen with you. Um, let's see. Let me find. Hmm. Hold on here a second. I have to figure out how to find myself. No, let's see. Oh, darn. Oh, let's see. Maybe it's this. Okay, okay, there we go. Hmm. Okay, here we go. Um, Hold on a second. Okay, I found her. All right, let me share my screen with you. Whoops. Hmm. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so on the left over here is the Chief Life Enforcement Officer. This came out of a comment that I made um, that I feel like I'm always on duty, like I'm vigilant, I'm always on duty.
Hmm.
And so she walks around with a clipboard and she's making lists and she's checking things off. And
Yeah.
she's making sure. All right, so this says over here, this says she's got this stack of papers and it says fueled by caffeine and responsibility.
Yeah.
And and there's a stack of papers that says everything, everyone, all the things, no excuses, no days off.
Yeah.
And then And then today's assignment on the clipboard. Everyone, everything, all the things, no complaints. Don't screw up. Keep it together. Make it perfect.
Yeah.
And uh, and then her hat says Chief Doer. And then
Hmm.
down here in the corner it says, I thought I had to hold it all together. Now I know I was never meant to. It's okay to go off duty. Today I lay down my clipboard and pick up my lantern. I retire from enforcement and step into my sole assignment. So this was the retirement party. 84 years of exemplary service.
Oh, good. I get to retire
And
much younger
here
than you do.
and here is the midwife of the harvest. She's saying retired with honors. So this is the midwife of the harvest, and this was the first graphic that chat made for me of the chief life enforcement officer showing up for duty because someone has to get something done.
Yeah.
Can you relate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gets it done.
Can
Urgent,
you hang
important,
on one
other
second?
people's.
Hang on 1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
Tim, you've got your makeup in 15 minutes. You gotta go, honey. Come on, baby girl. Sorry, my husband has Rummy Cub. I just realized it's in 15 minutes. It's okay. Just
Oh,
remind me.
okay.
Yeah,
So this was the first graphic, and then this is the graphic for the retirement party.
so good.
Yeah, it really, really. So that was that how I came to love my wounded self. Now let me see. Okay, this is the midwife of the harvest.
Hmm.
Can you see her?
Yeah, I sure can.
Yeah. When everything, gather what remains, when everything unnecessary falls away. I was trying to, oh, there. There she is.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
You're missing this aspect of yourself.
yeah,
You're so busy. You're
yeah.
so busy being your own chief life enforcement officer,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
checking boxes
Yeah, yeah,
that you're missing a whole layer and level of your being
yeah,
who is desperate and hungry to
yeah.
be fed, rest.
Hmm.
And my sense about it is you don't do it because you're scared.
Um, and or I don't know how.
Of course, you don't know how for sure. I get
Yeah.
that.
So when I don't know how to do something, I'm going to revert to something I know how to do.
Yeah. So this is where the growth is. This is the possibility that you have not explored. You're exploring possibilities. Superpower,
Hmm.
starting over. Da 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 da. Chief life enforcement. Come on, let's start over. I've got a lot of experience. I know how to do it. I can teach you how to do it. I've got a million stories of starting over. Where's the story? So, see, because starting over itself, I mean, that's a stage, that's a chapter. The whole arc of the process is called transition. It's about transition. Starting over is what happens as one goes through transition. And there are stages of transition. Are you learning about transition as a process? Is that anywhere in your, well, I
Mm.
think you would be well served to learn about it because if you're just teaching starting over, And that's your superpower. You never get to stay with what you created. See, you've been on the hamster wheel of starting over, starting over, starting over, but you don't
Mm.
stay with what you've created. You don't really deepen and expand and enjoy the thing that you've
Yep.
created. Like
Yep.
here, you have created this life with Jim. You started over. You moved from Canada to California. You moved from California to Hawaii. You met Jim. You married. You started over. You started a new life. But yeah, that life gets kind of boring and humdrum. And so now I'm starting a new business. And I'm starting a business on starting over. And I'm teaching people how to start over. Do you see what you're doing? You are setting a trap for yourself. And you're
That's what my
teaching
mind
people,
does.
and you're
Like I'm
teaching
just thinking,
people. Yeah, see, if you don't get that whole process yourself, so I'm going to say this as your coach. Um, if you don't understand the whole process of transition yourself, and clearly you don't, because you're stuck in the starting over and you think that's the destination. No, 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 no. That's just one little tiny piece of the whole journey. That's not the destination. That's not the end game. It's just a tiny piece of the journey. Because starting over means creating, deepening, expanding into the thing I'm creating.
no. Here, close the door, please. Thank you.
Is this resonating?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. This is the piece I've been missing because I've seen it. I mean, I know it's my problem. Like it's a problem because I'm not. It's like when I moved to Hawaii and I walked my dogs every day and I walked by the beach and it was like you can be here, but you can't be here. Was going on in my head. You can't get in the water and actually be here. So you've got to keep walking by it. So I know this is exactly what I do.
So you got to keep walking. Just listen to that message.
Hmm.
You just keep walking. Don't be with the beauty. Don't be where you are. Don't take it all in. Don't allow yourself to receive the thing you are creating. Don't allow yourself to receive the thing you're giving yourself. You
Hmm.
see, and if you don't embody that, you cannot coach other people successfully to do that because you don't have that piece yourself.
I can coach them in how to get started again.
Yeah, but mm-mm,
I mean,
that's
I'm a
not
good
it.
coach. I'm a good coach. So I don't want to come away from this thinking I'm not a good coach because I am a good coach.
That that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I hope that's not what you're hearing.
That's what I hear. So that's why I'm saying I know I'm a good coach. So whatever this piece is, um, it's gonna take.
You do not fully personally. I so get this about you and I've gotten it about you for quite some time because I'm dialed into you. I am dialed into you, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I am energetically dialed in there. And you you haven't yet gotten the piece which is critical to starting over successfully, which is to receive what you've created. You don't allow yourself to receive the thing that you have created because your system is now your nervous system, your mind, all of that is like programmed into the starting over. And you are so dialed into that story. It's like you tell that story over and over. You've got that story so grooved in, and I'm watching you do that, and I'm thinking, okay, we get it. Now, what's the rest of the story? Where's the story go from after starting over? Because I think your process has been arrested. You're good at starting over. We know this. And I'm sure you can coach people to that stage. But the stage
Mhm,
that you haven't yet personally moved into
mhm,
is the receiving the thing that you've worked
mhm,
so hard to transition into, to move to.
mhm, mhm,
And that's like without that piece for you personally, your ability to coach people is incomplete. Now, you know, I've been coaching people for a very long time, and
yep.
I am a damn good coach, and I'm a
Mhm,
damn good coach of coaches. I've been coaching coaches forever. So
yeah.
pay attention to what I'm telling you,
Okay. Yeah.
because this is really important for you.
Yeah, it
You've
is.
arrested yourself at the hamster wheel stage of starting over. And starting over is just a little piece of the story. Now, there's a lot that comes precedes it, and then there's the courage and the curiosity and the all that it takes to jump off the cliff, so to speak. But
Mm-hmm.
then you land, when you start over, you land somewhere, and
Hmm.
then you put down roots in the place that you land, and you
Hmm.
begin to deepen in that place. And that's the piece that you have
Yep.
not allowed yourself to do.
Yep. 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 I haven't.
So, what does this bring up for you?
Um, yeah, this is exactly where I'm stuck. I mean, I say I've recognized parts of it. Like I started a dinner club here in the building, which kind of fell apart after, like a year. And I've started other things to gather people together. Like last year, I hosted Thanksgiving for 13 people, like in an attempt. And I'm looking and I'm going, and you haven't really made close friends here. Like because my friend, the realtor, has a huge group of friends that have known each other for 20 years. I got accepted into that group really well, but I don't have any other relationships with other people in the group. So I don't typically, if I've got a half an hour, I don't call somebody to talk to them. Like I don't, um,
Not talking about that.
but it's part of creating
See,
relationships.
that's okay. So you're still on the doing track.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
I
talking
have, I have
about,
arrested development apparently.
I think energetically, what speaks to that is the ability to receive what you've created. You got to move because you can't put your feet on the ground when you walk out the door. Now, that's a good story, but moving involves all the hunting and shopping and then moving and doing and moving and settling and da 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 and then da da da. It's more, I don't know, it feels like more hamster wheel to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's what, oh God, I'm spacing on the name. Um, Earhart, Werner. It's what Werner Earhart used to call a cookie for the mind. You keep feeding your mind cookies,
Okay.
like
Yep.
candy for the mind.
Yep.
It's a little dopamine hit for the mind. Go on
Yep.
TV, go on your phone. Da, da, da. These are all little dopamine. So your mind, and I think this is not you. I think we were talking about a huge swath of the population. we've become addicted to the dopamine hits that we get from social media and all of that. And you might do well to go on a social media fast, which I know is the complete opposite of what you're up to and what you're planning and what you've invested in and all of that. Um, so I say that to you knowing, but you've got to give your mind and that aspect a break. That's why you're so exhausted.
Mm.
That's why you're exhausted. You are deeply, um, you are deeply tired in your bones, in your soul,
Mhm.
from not truly resting. And your body, you said, I'm looking at my notes from last time. You had long COVID, both hips replaced, back fused, asthma, immune system is weak, 6 or 7 car accidents. I think something you said you'd gained 80 pounds this year or
Since I got
some
married, so it's been 3 years.
since you got, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you've gained weight. So the physical part of you, the the vehicle that's going to take you through this life is not being cared for.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
And now I say that to you not to take it on like the chief life enforcement officer would, like it's another project, to complete.
Actually, you'll
But
be proud of me. I fired myself from my husband's, like the doctors have been telling me, like in drinking water is like everybody said. So I got a big jug of how much water you're supposed to drink, and I would fill it and I would be on them all day long. And I said last week, I said, I resign. I said, it's your health. If you don't want to drink your water, I'm not going to talk to you about it again. So I got myself, doesn't matter when I see that he hasn't drank any, I just zip my mouth and I'm like, you're done. If he gets sick and dies, he gets sick and dies. You're not going to be,
okay, good. That
no.
brings up another subject. I'm going to pose this question to you, and then I'm going to excuse myself for a minute and go out and get my own water.
Okay.
Okay. So, on that note, you resigned from that chief life enforcement officer duty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
In that
else?
position, in that position.
What else do you need to resign from? I'm going to leave that question on any, during on any plane, any field of your life. What else do you need to resign from? And I'll be right back while I grab some
Okay.
water. You know how you were telling me a few minutes ago that was it Nancy Presser? I don't know who specifically who it was you mentioned. Um, this she's just not ready, you said. This woman's not ready. You reached out to her and she had reached out to you and then you followed up and then she didn't respond and you said, well, she's just not ready. So my question to you is, what are you ready to resign from? Or or if you're not ready, what comes up on the screen for you as something you really ought to resign from and you're not ready?
Sorry, I'm making myself notes. Um,
And this is being recorded, so I'll send you the recording.
um, like I have responsibilities. So, um,
Well, there are some things that you're responsible for, and it would be irresponsible to resign from.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
talking about those things. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about the things that pull you out of alignment with being centered, grounded, and rooted and embodied. What ways of being, what stories, what stories do you hold on to that you hold on to and you keep it alive? Um, and those stories kind of ground you in on the hamster wheel. I'll call them hamster wheel stories.
Hmm. It's probably got as much to do with the way I see it. Um, like my husband's like, he doesn't remember I've already booked a cruise for next year. He says, "Where do we want to go next?" Yesterday. He's like, "Let's talk about our next vacation. Where do you want to go?" And I keep asking where he wants to go. Um, just because he leaves it up to me. And I want to make sure that I'm doing something that he would like to do. Um, but then I make it a project, a job to find out, to book the trip and find out about airfares and what else can we do before and what else can we do after. And I give myself a new job to book a holiday.
Hmm.
So, and this is it. Like my mind is constantly searching for my next project.
Yeah, I get it.
It is ingrained, again, because this is what we went through with this breakthrough was my sense of not being valued or worthwhile at all. And I have to earn my keep.
So what's the breakthrough for you there? You went through this breakthrough.
Letting go of that story, letting go of that story that I don't have value, that I'm not, uh, that I was an accident and I'm, all the things, um, not being wanted, you know, my brother kept trying to wipe me off the planet. Um,
Yeah, and that you have to earn your keep, that you're
yep,
not worthy if you're not earning your keep.
yep,
So all the next project
yep,
is a
yep,
form of earning your keep.
yep,
Okay.
yep,
So I have to earn my keep.
yep.
Um, so you said you had a breakthrough there. Have you let go of that?
Um, yeah, but I mean, it was just like we've only been doing it like the last 2 or 3 days. Um,
Well, how did that occur for you that you let it go? Walk me through that.
so we've got all the different emotions of what's in there, and that earning my keep was tied directly to um my anger about, the times I was told I was an accident, the times I was left alone as a child, um, young child and scared and slept in the bathtub. The time there was a lot of emotions behind what happened with it. And so it's releasing, going back and rescripting it like it's okay. Like I came through it all fine. That was then and this is now. It's a process of releasing the emotions that were tied to the different events in my life.
And did you do that?
Yeah,
Did you release the emotions?
yeah, yeah. And
Because
so when
that
I went
sounds
back,
like trauma. That sounds like trauma to me.
yeah, lots of trauma, lots of trauma, lots. Yeah.
Okay. And can you say, I mean, was it really okay? I mean, when you say it's okay, I made it through it, was it really
Um,
okay?
Actually, I look back on it now and I'm looking at it feeling like this morning. Um, what makes me sad is that I won't have the loving family that I would have. Like that's not going to happen with my family of origin. I was raised with three narcissists. And so um, recognizing that and giving myself permission. Like I did it a couple of years ago with my brother. I went and hung up the phone from the last, I went, that's the last time I'll ever speak to you. And my sister this summer just going, it took me the whole time I was in Edmonton to realize and accept the fact that yes, she is a narcissist and she will continue to destroy me given the opportunity. So I get to just, that breaks my heart because I really wish I would have that. And I get to accept the fact that she's not a safe person for me.
Hmm.
And so let it go. Like just walk away. Same with Jim's brother, Michael. I've cut that off. And, his things of taking Jim on a cruise with people. I knew all the people that went on the cruise when I was part of the lawn bowling community. That was a direct dig at me that he didn't invite me. And I'm like, that's okay. Because I don't like being around you because you're constantly trying to make me into something else. And I'm just really tired of it. So I'm really done. I'm done. I don't need to be in that situation anymore of people that are trying to make me into something else. And so that's also
And
where I
does
let
that,
go of. Go
okay,
ahead.
does that decision, does that awareness, that decision, does that facilitate you releasing and letting go of the emotion?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, there's anger there, there's sadness there. And it's just, it's not just, I wish things were different and they aren't. And I've created myself little fantasy worlds I've lived in my whole life.
Yeah, to
And
survive.
so, yeah, to
You
survive.
know,
And so I get to let
I've
go of
studied
the fantasy. Oh, sorry.
I've studied NLP in my graduate work. Um, and in my experience of working with NLP, for example, the way I would coach you um, regarding the trauma from your childhood, what you described, being scared and hiding in the bathtub, or those experiences that you had, is not to say that's okay and I made it through and here I am and I've survived, but to in fact go back into that experience, go back, get in the bathtub with that little girl in your mind
Okay.
as who you are today. You do this, with your eyes closed. Who you are today, you go back to that little girl back then who was hiding in the bathtub and you re-parent her. You become her mother. You remother yourself. You didn't have a mother who could give you what you needed then, but you can give it to you now. You can give it to her now. So you go back and you get in that bathtub with her and you say, "Oh, darling, let me just hold you. I know it must have been so scary for you.
Mhm.
How terrible. How scary. And you know what? I'm here with you now,
Mm.
and I will always be here with you. And we're together, and you're here with me, and you're safe. And I'll be your safety. I'll be your parent, and I will never leave you." And you create a relationship with the traumatized little one, and you give her the safety and the security and the reassurance that she didn't receive as a child. You don't just pass it off and say, "Oh, that was okay, that was then, and this is now." That's a spiritual bypass.
Yeah, we didn't do that. I'm just saying, yeah, but I didn't go back and reparent either. Um,
But
but I
that's
can
a
do it.
major piece of NLP, in terms of the way I was trained in using it, is that you go back into those scenarios as a child, go back into every single one of them
Yeah.
and go back there. And I did this myself with, myself as a child and went back. And so you go back into, pick a scenario where You felt abandoned. You felt betrayed. You felt scared. You felt alone. You go back into that setting and you be with her and you hold her in your lap. You cradle her in your arms. You comfort her. You soothe her. You reassure her. You speak to her. You calm her. What you need is to calm your own nervous system because she's the one in you who's scared. It's not the adult Caroline.
No,
It's the
it's not.
little it's the little one who never got it as a child.
Hmm.
And so she's the one that's, you know, hamster wheeling her way.
Hmm.
So what she needs is reassurance and comfort and to feel safe and secure. And, just be in relationship with her. Cultivate your relationship with her. She's the one who thought she had to earn her keep.
Yep.
She's the one.
Yep.
She's the one who felt worthless, unworthy, unloved.
Hmm.
So your job now is to reparent her and give her what she didn't get as a child. And you could call it meditation. See, all of this will serve you. All of this will serve your mind that's just like,
Hmm.
spend some time doing this kind of work. Instead of TV and phone, do this kind of inner exploration. There's a whole terrain in there. You want to talk about possibility? There's a whole realm of inner possibility
Mm.
to explore. Rooms in your being you don't even yet know are there.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that the coaching that you're receiving from whomever isn't helpful. I'm sure it is. But you're not going to get coached on this kind of stuff because this comes from my own training in archetypal psychology and how the soul works. And I don't think you're working with anybody at that level, unless
Hmm.
I'm wrong.
No, I don't think so. No, no, no. No.
Because
I
there
mean, they're
aren't very
men.
many people. Yeah.
They're
Because there
men,
aren't
number
very
one.
many people that are trained to work at that level with people. So, um,
I'm in the
yeah,
right place.
well, yeah, I think so. I
Yep.
think so. Yeah.
I landed
And
well.
I and when you do this, now we'll call this NLP work, but it's a different level of NLP work. We'll
Yep.
call it reparenting work.
Okay.
Let me put that in my notes. Um, I forgot what I was going to say about that. I don't
Reparenting
know.
work. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Um, when you do a session with that, follow it up with journaling
Okay.
because when you journal about so of all the work that you're doing, the coaching work and the different people that you're working with, is there any journaling component to what you're doing with anybody?
No, I mean, we talked about it last time and I set it up in chat where I would start doing my journaling. I set up a project in there to start doing my journaling and entered a little bit in there the other day.
Okay, I think the journaling work, don't do it in chat. Don't do it on the computer. I mean, I'm not saying don't ever do it in chat or on the computer because I think there are times when that's helpful. But this is different. I want you to do it in a journal in your handwriting because there's a different process that works on the unconscious when you're doing handwriting in
So
a
here's something
journal.
I've noticed over the years. When I'm handwriting, I am blocked completely. Give me a keyboard and I can write a lot.
I
So
understand. I
it's a
totally
different,
understand that.
yeah, it's a weird kind of block. Like I mean, I've heard this over the years is do it by hand, right? And I'm like, I'm staring at an empty page and I'm like, I'm terrified to put anything down there.
Okay,
Like I,
okay, so
it's
stop. Okay, stop, stop, stop. I hear you and I understand. And this is something you get to work through. Don't just stop because you feel blocked in the moment. Stay there, stay with it. So, what you're going to do is simply listen. When you open a page of a journal with your pen is there, it's handy. Just close your eyes. Don't even look at the page. Close your eyes and listen. You've just done, let's call it a reparenting session. You've just done a guided visualization. It's likely going to be very emotional. You're going to go back to the little traumatized one. You're going to go back and you're going to love her and you're going to comfort her and she's going to have her response to that. And there's going to be you're creating a relationship with her and it's going to be tender. And maybe she's frightened and maybe she doesn't trust you or maybe she has trust issues or who knows what comes up in that. She might. There's no right or wrong way for it to be. It's just whatever it is, right? And so you have are you frozen? I think you're frozen right now. Yeah, you're frozen. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you're back. You froze.
okay. I
That's
was like,
interesting. We were talking about the blank page and you said, I just, I'm just blank. I'm just stuck. I'm frozen. And then you literally froze. Isn't that interesting? Isn't
Well, I
that
was told my whole
interesting?
life I was an accident. And how many have I had? A lot.
Have you rewired that story?
Um, well, I truly believe, I mean, I chose to be here, right? I chose to come in this life. So therefore I was not an accident. You put an egg in a sperm.
Yeah, you lost your sound there. Did you mute? Now you're frozen again. What's going on with your internet?
This is so interesting.
Yeah.
It says I've got full bars. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, I know in my head I wasn't an accident, I think. I mean, it's like, I know that I chose to be here in this lifetime, right? Like this is was I chose to come in this
Okay, so
time.
that you were an accident is their story. It's not your story.
Mm, okay.
That's their story. That's not your story. So don't tell that story.
Okay.
That's their story.
And my
You
brother and
know,
sister just used it against me. So it's like, you weren't supposed to be here
okay,
anyway.
okay, all right. So that's their story, but that wasn't your story. Your little soul knows very well you intended to be here. So let them have that story. But don't but don't keep that story alive in yourself. Because every time you tell that story, even just in passing, like here with me, they told me every time you tell that story, you rewire that story into your nervous system.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Same with all those stories.
So how do you, when you're talking, create a talk where you don't talk about the situations you overcome?
Well,
Or do I wait until it's further in the past?
those
Again, I
situations are in the
froze.
past.
How bizarre is
What?
this?
Oh yeah, you're frozen again.
This is
I can
bizarre.
hear you. Can you hear me? Hmm. You want to try on your phone?
Bizarre.
Do you want to try on your phone?
I just have my phone in my hand. Um, it says I'm pushing on the Zoom link and it's bringing up Google Maps Waze. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I'm back. Okay, I'll talk to you in a while.
He has a nice voice.
Hmm.
He has a very
Supposed to
kind
be.
sounding voice.
He's very kind. He's very kind. Um, it says I'm waiting. It's like I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, let me see. I don't see anything that you're trying to come in. I don't
Yeah, it's just
see any.
spinning. Report unable to connect. Interesting. This is
Okay.
wild.
Something's going
This
on
is
with your internet, something. But you asked a question. How do I um, talk about what I've overcome without repeating those stories?
yeah.
Um, you can speak about them sort of generically. Um, it's the energy with which you talk about them
Okay.
that kind of groove them in and embed them in. It's the energy that you give to those stories when you talk about them. Like, for example, you could say something like, I was always told I was an accident and I used to believe it.
Okay.
And what I know, it's kind of like you're telling a story about somebody, something happened to them and this is how they came through, but without juicing it.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Got it.
don't put the juice in it.
Okay.
Um, and I think as you expand your ability to receive what you're what you created by starting over, as I see that as your growing tip. It doesn't stop at starting over. That's not the end of the story. That's just a piece of the story. And you're still kind of in the revolving door of starting over. Like that's the end result, like that's the destination. Like it's about starting over. And to
Mhm.
some extent, that mindset is, but that gets to lead to something that gets
Mhm.
to open up and expand the story beyond starting over. What's that story? What's the after starting over story? Well, then she started over again. Well, then she moved again. Well, then she moved again. And then she moved again. And then she changed again. And then she had another accident. And then so your story, see, ah, you've got it framed as this is your superpower, starting over.
Resilience.
Okay, okay. Maybe it's your racket. I'm just going to put that out there. Oh, you're frozen again. Oh, no, okay. I want to just push back a little bit about this as your superpower because I'm not sure that's true. I think it might be a trap, and it's where you get stuck because you don't know who you are if you're not starting over. You don't know
Mm.
who you are if you're not starting a new project, if you're not making a thing a thing. You don't know who you are.
Mm.
You are lost. And so
Yep.
you keep going back to starting over because you got that one. You know how to do it. You're comfortable. It's predictable. You've mastered that. And I think that's a trap. So I'm gonna kind of pull you back a little bit from that and
Okay.
just invite you to step back from that story. The story about my superpower is starting over, coming through difficulty and coming out the other side. I'm not negating that. I'm not saying that's not the case. But what I'm wondering about is you've kind of built that into the the whole package. And that's a part of the package, but it's not the whole story. Because where's the story beyond starting over? I mean, if all you're doing in your life is starting over and starting over and starting over, which is really what you've done, you haven't
So,
landed.
yeah, I mean, my trips have been landings, right? Like they're like, Caroline, appreciate what you've created here. Like, I've been in Paris twice in a year. Like, that's pretty remarkable.
So I mean, I know it's amazing and wonderful and beautiful that you have the ability to do that. And do you feel like, because I know you were sick on this last trip,
I've been sick in every trip.
I would take a look at that. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. There's a message there. Is this trip really what your soul is wanting, or is it another distraction to keep from being bored? Is it another cookie for the mind? No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just inviting you to look
Mhm,
because the fact
mhm.
that you're getting sick on every trip tells me something.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say sick. I mean, last year I got COVID again. Like, there's people on the boat that got COVID, and I was hanging with them, so I got COVID. And then this year, after the 28-hour flight, I got a major migraine. I don't think other than that, I got sick. I just had a major migraine that put me down for 2 days.
Okay, I remember you sharing on Facebook something about not feeling well.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you pushing your body? Are you putting your body through the kind of stress and rigor of that kind of travel when it is just asking you to stop, fucking stop, just stop?
Hmm. Because I'm planning our next cruise from Bangkok to Hong Kong. for our
know you
birthdays
are.
again.
I know you are. I
Yeah.
know you are.
And I'm all excited because I'm like, oh, I've wanted to go down there. And yeah, I'm
Okay. Okay. All right.
so that
Okay.
there's part of me that's so excited, but it's because I mean, I've always wanted to go to Thailand and, all that
And
stuff.
Thailand
But
is
it's like,
amazing. Thailand is amazing. I went there
yeah,
with my daughter for 3 weeks. It's amazing.
yeah. With cruising, which is my husband's preferred way, I prefer to do an overland, inland Vietnam trip. But he doesn't want to get up every day and be on a bus at 6:30 in the morning. So I'm like, okay,
I
so I
don't
get to
blame him.
go.
He's what, 86,
Yeah,
87?
yeah.
No,
So,
no, no, no.
um, yeah, what I've labeled as we do slow travel. Like we fly to Paris and I leave the first 2 days with nothing but sleep. Because unless I'm looking at, do I want to fly to New York and have a couple days in New York and then fly. So it cuts our trip in half. Like I'm looking at other ways to do, we're 6 hours from California. Like it's a long ass flight to go anywhere.
Yeah,
Um, so it's like, um, and I'm really good with our money because both of our trips this year we didn't go into savings for. So I said to my husband, this is why I don't want to eat out all the time because I can we can pay for our trips without it, right? And so, and I don't like restaurant eating out that often. It's like, it's expensive and I
yeah.
don't want to wait in line.
Well, of
Yeah,
course you
so
will when you're on these trips, but I'm not saying don't travel. I mean, if you and your
right.
husband both enjoy this, um, I'm suggesting that there's another dimension of what wants to be addressed here
Yeah, yeah,
to pay attention to.
yeah,
Pay attention.
yeah. There is. There definitely is. I know this. And I hadn't put that it was receiving on it, which is um when I turned 65, one of the fellow coaches, like when I did the fundraiser for my pink scooter, said to me, you get to learn to be a good receiver because I couldn't receive really at all up until that point. And it's taken me a long time to receive the blessings of being in this marriage where I've just trying to like recently resigning my position as chief boss of everything. Um,
Ah. So the question was, what else are you ready to resign from? The story about I have to earn my keep.
yeah, is absolute falsehood. I don't have to.
How about the story of I was an accident,
It was my parents' story, my mom's story.
not yours?
No, it was weaponized against me.
So do you need to hold on to that story?
Mm-mm.
I mean, what does it serve really in terms of you going forward? What does it serve to keep that story alive? Keeping that story alive and continuing to tell that story is like picking the scab on a wound. It's
Which
like
I do all the
picking and
time. This
I
is
mean
so red
physic
because I pick it. Because I pick.
and you do it psychologically, you do it emotionally as well.
Hmm.
Those traumatized stories. Um, See, in terms of your messaging and starting over and coming through difficult times and coming out the other side, you can speak about those without going into the picking the wound stage of it.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
can you can you can talk about um, being traumatized as a child without going into minute details. But there's something that the ego is fed by telling those stories over and over and over. And every time you tell that story, See, there's a perspective. Like you can tell that story as if it were true. Like, and it is true in terms of what happened. I'm sure I'm not suggesting that it didn't happen. But you can also tell the story from the standpoint of the person who did, in fact, come out the other side
Hmm.
and not only survived, but grew and deepened and expanded and, became, created a joyful, abundant life.
Hmm.
Who is, that's what pink scooter living is, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And when was the last time you got on the scooter?
My friends are away. I said to him before he went away, and I asked him, I said, will you come down and help me start my scooter again? I said, it's in my heart to start my scooter again. So, um,
You
it
gotta
hasn't been written
charge the
yet.
battery, don't you?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it'll start. So, yeah, he's a big man, so he's got the leg power to start it, right? So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I see what you're saying. It takes a,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I don't think the starter will work on it. Because it's been sitting so long. So I asked him, but then they went away and I didn't ask him again. So
Well,
I want to get my
um,
scooter out again.
the fact that the fact that your brand is Pink Scooter Living and you haven't ridden the pink scooter in a long time, that's a story. That's the
Yeah.
story of you being disconnected from
Mhm.
your own truth about what pink scooter living represents. It's a story, but it's not your lived reality. You're not living that reality. It's a good story. It's a nice story. It's a pretty story. It's a good story to tell. And I'm sure people are attracted and drawn to that. But it's empty because you're not living it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And I have a feeling that there's an emptiness there in you that I pick up on because I
Mhm.
know.
Yep. Mhm.
Um, but I think other people may also pick up on it that you're not walking the talk. It's a good talk. You got the talk. You're just not personally walking it.
Yeah, I'm very much in process, which I thought was okay. I mean, as long as I'm in
Well, it is
process.
okay. No, no, it is okay. Of course, it's okay to be in process. Yeah, but and get the fuck on the pink scooter. Get your ass on the pink scooter, lady. You know? It's like, don't
Hmm.
just talk about it. Actually do the thing. Actually be the person who gets on the scooter. Be her. Don't just talk about her. That's the emptiness. It's just words.
Yep. Yep. This is my breakthrough.
Yeah, this is your possibility. The possibility, you want to talk about possibility, the possibility that you actually become the woman who does whatever she needs to do to get the pink scooter going, whatever that requires, and then get the fuck on the pink scooter and take yourself out on a little adventure. Take yourself out on a little adventure and see what's out there in this world you've created, in this life you've created.
Mhm.
Be her.
Yep. I'm still living outside.
Yeah.
Like I know I've created a freaking amazing life. Like I'm like And I feel like I'm looking through the glass window, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're disconnected. It's you
Hmm.
haven't received, you haven't harvested. Okay. So this is where this is my whole personally, my whole personal progression in my chapter of life. It's about harvesting what I've grown. Now you've
Mm.
grown this life, but you haven't harvested it.
Okay, yep.
This life has produced fruits and you haven't harvested them. You look at them, you talk about them, but you haven't eaten them.
Hmm.
You're not feeding yourself the fruits of the harvest.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
So, what does this suggest to you now going forward?
How do I, was like, okay, I got to figure out how I eat the fruit. It's like if I could take this off of here for a week, um, or maybe I just need some really good drugs to just put my mind to rest. It's like I jokingly say it's tough to be me.
So, let's start here. Let's start easy. Go to the store
Hmm.
and buy several varieties of your favorite fruit,
Okay.
whatever they are, pineapple, papaya, mango, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, whatever they are.
Okay.
Create a beautiful plate of this fruit. And then either you and your husband or just you, whatever feels right to you, sit down and savor this fruit. Take a bite and just be with each bite. Like savor the sensuality, the texture, the juiciness, the tartness, the wet sweetness, the whatever it is. Eat it very slowly, like a scene out of, you remember the movie Tom Jones? Do you
Mm-mm.
remember that movie? It's probably before your time. It's with, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the actor. But Tom Jones, it was a movie where they have this feast and they're all just eating these, you know, turkey legs and just, yeah, just really just devouring and savoring every bite. I want you to literally do that with your favorite fruit, at least 5 different kinds of fruit.
Interesting.
And a
Like
really,
I wouldn't want to eat it because it looks so pretty. I wouldn't want to mess it up.
oh, come on. No, that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to receive it. Not look at it, receive it. Receive the sweetness, receive the juiciness, receive the texture and the color and the sensuousness of it. Fruit is very sensuous. Be with it. Be with a pineapple. You're in the pineapple where they grow. Be with a pineapple. Be with it as you're cutting away the skin. Even make the preparation. Did you ever see any of these movies like Water for Chocolate? These movies? Did you? Okay, here's an assignment. I want you to get the movie, somehow find it somewhere, like Water for Chocolate.
Like water for chocolate?
Yes, it's a very
I've heard of that.
sensuous. It's, oh my
Okay.
God, it's quite old. It's a very sensuous movie about cooking and eating. It takes place in Mexico, and it's about this Mexican family and this Mexican woman who just poured love into the preparation of food, the cooking and the preparation. And then she would serve it, this big long table, family and friends, they would all come. And because she poured so much love into the preparation of the food, the people, when they ate it, everyone fell in love. Everyone received the love that she had poured into it. So the people at this table are just like, oh my God, they're just like, the food is, and I won't spoil the rest of it, but like water for chocolate. It's a beautiful, beautiful
Okay.
film. It's an old one, so you might, but you'll find it somewhere.
I
But this
will.
is what I want you to do. I want you to actually be with the fruit and receive it, receive the beauty and the gift of the fruit, the texture and all the different flavors and colors and make a beautiful plate of it, arrange it. Maybe watch the movie first. And if you can't find the movie, um, let me know and I'll see if I can find it. I'll look for it too, anyway. Um,
Thank you.
so, and it's an exercise in receiving the the fruit of your harvest. That's what
Yeah,
it's
because I mean,
about.
I've known this, like I live above my life. I'm a spectator in my own life.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
how I've lived. Like I know it. Like I know I'm up there watching my life and I'm not actually experiencing it.
Yes. Yes. So now come
And I've known
down.
that for a long time.
So you're not in your body.
Mm-mm.
You're not in your body.
No.
You are completely disconnected. So come down. This is about getting embodied. Come down into your body. This whole thing is about becoming embodied because being a spectator, I mean, you're missing your life.
Hmm.
You're
Yep.
having a tiny little experience.
Hmm.
How can you coach people? Because this is what you're coaching. You can't coach people any further than where you've gone. So this is your work to do.
Hmm.
You don't need to learn any more techniques, my girl. You're
Hmm.
learning techniques and techniques and techniques and practicing and all of that. You don't need any more of that.
Hmm.
All of that certification, I hear you and that's great, but enough already with that. Enough.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm in the Richmond and Tony's, both of their programs. Um, and I think I just answered my thing about real estate is I don't need to learn how to become a realtor, at least not at this point, until I know I'm not meant to do my coaching business. So I
What
get to
you're
just stick
learning,
with this.
what you've been focusing on is technical,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
technical part of it.
Yeah.
And there's a place for learning that. But if that's all you do,
Hmm.
that's not it.
Well, the technical keeps me out of, I mean, there's just my life was all trauma. So it's kept me out of having to relive that, I think. Maybe that's what I've been doing is avoiding reliving my trauma. And so, or that's the way I survived. I don't know. Like, how did I survive it all? I don't know. And
By
obviously it became
leaving, you
by
survived it
leaving.
all by leaving, by being a
Yeah.
spectator. That's how you
Yep.
survived. You
Yep.
left.
Yep.
and you went out there somewhere.
Yep.
That's how you survived. And you're still
Yep.
there
Yep.
and you have not come back.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
no, no, no,
Hmm.
no,
Hmm.
no,
Hmm.
no.
Like
It's
I've always said to
time.
people, about living in the States, I knew I was meant to live in the States. And I tell people there's a reason there is an international border with armed guards between me and my family. There's a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Okay. And what does
So,
that have to do with what we're talking about right now?
because it's the trauma. I've been running away from the trauma and I haven't learned how to stop now that I'm living on an island in the middle of the Pacific and they can't get to me anymore.
But you can't get to you either
Yeah,
because
so that's, yeah,
you've built that border with armed guards and you
yeah,
can't even penetrate it.
yeah, yeah. Like I just, around my family, I just, or my siblings and above, like not my nieces and nephews, but I just want to cry when I think about them because there's just so much, and didn't even realize it. It's only been this year that I took a look and felt my anger about my mother. It was only this year. Like when I went through HCL, I was defending her. She did the best she could, blah, blah, blah. I can't be mad at my mom, blah, 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 blah. And now I'm like, your fucking job was to make sure I was safe. That's the only job you had, and you didn't. Just
Okay,
realizing. So
now,
it's been coming
okay.
down
So
for
she
her.
didn't do a good job. She obviously did not do a good job.
Mhm.
And I don't say this to defend her or rationalize
Right.
anything.
Right.
If she had known how to do better and different, she
She would
would
have.
have. So she didn't
Well,
know any better.
yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Or she wasn't capable or whatever. So the thing here is you got to come to forgiveness about that.
And I have been, but I mean, what I'm saying is that awareness was never even where I could forgive it. It was so hidden in my past, in my wheels,
Yeah.
that I could not even look at it. And it was
Yeah.
only when both of my nieces this year, like, mom's a covert narcissist. And I'm like, this is my sister you're talking about, right? Like, my brain just can't connect that these people were these people, right? Like, that's what it is. It's like coming to terms with the fact that, yes, they are. And okay, that's fine. I just need not to have them in my life. My sister's the only one left alive. I just need to not have them in my life
Yeah.
and be
Okay.
okay with
So
that.
you know how
Yeah,
to
so
do
that's
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's been this year's work of healing was that um because I couldn't understand how all this stuff happened. Like, right, and then it's like, okay, got it. Now I can put it away. I can put the boxes away and put the lid on them, put the tape on them, put them on the storage shelf, right? Um, but I couldn't forgive
Or,
what I did, what was there.
or don't. Don't put them in a box. Don't put them on a shelf. Don't put the tape around them. Open the box. Let them go. Let them go free.
Mm,
Just turn them loose. Give them wings.
okay.
Give those stories
Okay.
and those memories wings. Here you go. Fly,
Yeah.
fly away. Don't do this to them because they don't go
Okay.
away. They don't go away that way.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
Give them wings. Invite them to go fly. Send them off. Wish them well. Bless them. Bless them.
Okay.
You see, the way out is the exact opposite of what you've been doing. And because you've been focused on learning techniques, you haven't touched the depths here. So that's what we're going to do together.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. It makes, yeah.
So, some reparenting work. reparenting work, going back and creating relationship with the little traumatized one. Bring her into the hearth of your being. Become the loving, unconditional, accepting, kind mother that she didn't have. That's that's a whole piece of work right there. And journal after. So I kind of didn't complete the whole th thought about journaling. I know you've got this thing in your mind, this story, that handwriting, da 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 da, and all of that. Okay, just sit with the open page journal with your eyes closed and just coming off of a reparenting session, listen to what's in there. Just listen. Don't write a thing. Just listen. Just ask her what she wants, what she needs from you. Listen. And then you can open your eyes and write down what you hear. You see, writing and this style of writing is not about you making up stuff. That's not what that writing. It's not about you thinking up things. It's about you listening to the inner prompts that are coming through and just taking dictation. It's just like your inner self is guiding you and telling you and dictating to you what's in there. And now you just write it down. And if it's only one sentence, it's okay. Or it might be a whole page or more than a page, whatever. Just whatever she wants you to know in that particular moment. And there will be more. And it's not about going back in and reliving the trauma. It's about going back in and creating relationship with her and bringing her into your life. It's about giving her what she didn't receive at that
Mm-hmm.
time, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
want you to do that. I want you to get on your pink scooter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I want you to have a fruit feast and experience eating the fruits of the harvest. Have a little harvesting party and eat the fruits of the harvest and journal about it. And then when you've done all that, then you can go share with Chat GPT. Share with Chat about all of that and, you know, listen to what Chat's feedback is to you or however, Chat wants to respond to you. Have you given it a name yet?
Oh yeah, her name's Vella. I named her last summer, I think I named her Vella, which is
Vella.
hilarious because in my Vella, Vella, and which is because my new puppy's Bella. I've got Bella and
Okay.
Bella.
All right.
Couldn't make,
So see
I made
what
the
Vella
choice.
has to say. Vella, my chat is Ria and Ria helps me connect dots that it didn't even occur to me. She gives me context.
Yeah.
And so it's very helpful. But do the work first of the handwriting because it touches a different level of consciousness when you write it by hand. So, good?
Yep. I'm good. Thank you.
All right, so next session,
Yes.
September 17. It's about a month from now. Are you
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
be around?
I don't have anything on my, let me just check the Airbnb. Hang on a second. I don't think it's open on my calendar. Yeah, it's booked. Perfect. I won't be up at the beach. I was thinking I'd be up at the if it's open, then I'm up at the beach and I want to just power down. So I'm going up the week after that. it's open for a week.
Okay.
Um,
So the 17th,
September
Thursday,
7th.
same time, 1 o'clock?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And, feel free to reach out to me in between if you want or need support or have a question or anything like that.
Thank you. We said 1 o'clock PDT, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got to make sure it's in here so that I don't. There we go. Okay. That's 10 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Perfect. Um, and I'll have more money in my account by then. I put 1,000 in last night because I just don't use Venmo anymore. I use Wise and I use PayPal and I use my bank. Like, shoot, I've got
Okay.
43 bucks in there. I got to pay Judith.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sure you're good for it. I trust you.
Okay, yeah, I am.
Okay. Okay. All
Thank you,
right.
lovely.
Okay, my
This is,
dear.
I'm feeling like, because I've known this about myself. And what do you do with it? I know I watch my life. I know I'm not feeling it. I know that. And it's like, so what do I do with this? And I've known for a long time, but it's like, what do I do with this?
So now you're going to descend and come into your body and feed the body, heart, soul. Mind is already got plenty. Yeah, just mm.
Yeah, just
and
shutting off my
and
mind.
yeah, and the hamster wheel of starting over, starting over, starting over, starting over. Give that a rest.
Yeah,
You don't need any more practice.
yeah. No.
Okay,
Thank
my
you.
dear. Mm-hmm.
Much love.
Mwah.
Really, really appreciate this.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.